take that out. And start setting up the colours then. It's going a bit sticky because of the rubber. It's got a rubber seal on it and it tends to stick to the outside there. That's why it goes a bit black, and it's the terps that tends to eat into it a little bit, but it still works, it's fine. That's my dirty terps pot. So anything I use goes back in there then. This is my little dipper, which I put my medium goes in there and terps goes in there. Put my terps, which I like to put in here. Not too much. And then I've got my medium. This is an old Michael Harding oil paint medium bottle, but I make my own. It's the same stuff, stand oil and terps, 50-50 mix. It's cheaper to do your own. That just goes in there in case I need it, and that's it. And now we can choose a few brushes and get going. Hi there, welcome to today's video. Madeline's trying to put me off again as usual.
Very good.
We have come to Godrevy Beach. St Ives, you can see over there in the distance. Overcast day. We've come because we wanted the low tide. Tide's right out now, so we've probably got about an hour at this spot. And we wanted the low tide so we can get down on this beach, which means we're here and it's like 11:45, so it's nearly midday, so not ideal, but because it's overcast, we haven't got to worry about any sun moving and having direct lights on here and here, so it's ideal really, because the light's not going to change much. So we better crack on, haven't we? Where was I? Yes, because it's overcast, we haven't got to worry about the sun too much and the shadows moving. We're using oils, the usual palette. I'll put a photo up so you know what colours I'm using, and Madeline's going to be filming for us, so hopefully she'll keep it in focus. This borders a acrylic primed MDF, which I've just grabbed this morning, and it's probably about 45 centimetres by 30, something like that. Brushes in a brush roll. How exciting! All different shapes and sizes. Got some, let's have a quick look. Some flat. Oh, my brain's gone. Bonkers. Oh, come on, what's that called, Madeline?
Square, cotton,
No.
rounded.
Filbert. Oh, how could I possibly forget? I always use filbert. Okay, square, flat. Not square, you've got me to think. Flat, filbert. And a round. And then there's a rigger. So we've got a selection. I'll choose a couple of them in a minute. Ultramarine blue. Chuck that there. So all these colours go in the same place every time, so I know how to find them quickly and easily. Like for instance, here's the violet, and that always goes up there. I like that colour, it goes well. Raw sienna out. Squiggly raw sienna goes there. Indian red, I'm going to just put a little bit of that out here, and I'll put a photo of the palettes up in a moment, so you can actually, no, that's still usable. See, cadmium red doesn't dry very fast, so that's still usable from a couple of weeks ago. So I think I'll take this round. Let's have that. I can always come back round and yeah. So basically I'm going to have this flat, this distorted filbert around and another little round there, which it's a bit wrecked, but I quite like that. So I dip into the terps. So I want that rock, definitely want this rock in these shapes here. So we can change these things as we go. So that's sort of like Godrevy. That's that. That goes off like that. See, something like that. Got that. Some knives, headlamp that comes to about here. That's it, done. Thanks very much. So at the moment I'm just trying to find these sort of greys in the sky, which are approximate. Let's try a bit of ultramarine now. Right, that comes to about here. Ultramarine and Indian red has gone into that sort of grey mix as well now. Going to put some in for this sand now while Madeline goes off and does her B-reel. So I'm going to use cadmium red with some Naples yellow and drop a bit of white in there. There's quite a few people milling around because the tide's low. There's a lot of beach for them to go on, and they're not really coming over to bother us because we've got the rocks behind us as well, so perfect. So we're just blocking in some stuff at the moment, covering that board because when I got to grab that to be white rather than tone with any colour. Okay, so I'm just going to start trying to get some colour in for that water. So it's difficult to say what colour it is. So I'm just going to mix things which I think might work. It's like a grey-green, you see. So I've got a raw sienna in there with that phthalo blue and some other stuff which was on the brush, and I'm just going to run that across there. Just to get something in. Now I'll go back, put some of that sort of buff titanium in, a bit of violet and some lemon yellow. So you've got to just keep adding colours in until you get something that might work. It's quite green actually over there, isn't it, Madeline? There. Places it goes really green, doesn't it? The closer it comes in, it gets greener, doesn't it? So that, and it's sort of bluer out here. I'm just going to lay it on a little bit thicker, the paint. This is nice actually, this bit here, it's a bit yellow. Let's look, oh, nice blue. Look at the deep blue it's gone now. Oh wow, that's quite nice, isn't it? Let's see if we can get something in for it. Sun's just, I was just saying it's overcast, and the sun has just started to come out right onto my board. It wasn't supposed to come out at all today, that. across there. So it's changed the colour again. That water, that sea changed so quickly then when that sun, little bit of sun came out. Unbelievable how quick it changed, and it's gone back to how it was before. Might leave that in there like that.
It's nice.
I quite like that actually. And
Well, it
that.
is like that.
And that. Now I'm just doing it, painting in the St Ives now. Okay, so let's just get something in for this St Ives here. Just a tiny bit, small, little bit of terps in with the paint, but I don't want it running all over the place now. This is already dried, you see, because of the terps, so that's really ideal. That's why we use it when the weather's quite warm and dry. If it was a bit damper, like in the winter, I would tend to paint without the terps and just spread the paint in a scumbling style. These are the buildings over in St Ives there, and I'm just a little bit of red into that grey to make it a bit more varied and like it, a little bit like it is. Yeah, I don't think I've got that colour right, have I? More of a yellow. I'll keep that bit without any paint on because that will remind me that's where the surf's going. So I'm going to move that slightly to that. Like that. So I've got all this in, it won't take too long. Don't want to leave ourselves, we don't want to be rushing at the end, you see.
I don't want to be stranded.
We don't want to be stranded. So what's it looking like from back there, Mads? You've got a better view
Not
than
too
me.
bad actually.
Stood
It
back.
looks better now you've put the grey in the sand.
Yeah, it definitely needed the grey, didn't it?
It is quite grey though here. I think it's too orange, the sand. It's more like a cool colour rather than a warm, or like yellow, not orange.
Yeah. Putting something in for this rock, and then help to show the colour and the lightness, the tone of the sand, hopefully. So that's something there like that there. Now I'm going to get some darks in here. Which I think we need now. So I like to do my mid-tones, you see, first, and then I start to get so far, and I realise then I've got to start to put the darkest darks and the lightest lights in, and then I'll go back again. And it's not saying that's the right way to work, that's just the way I like to work. It works best for me. And that's all that matters really, is finding a way that works best for you. Drag that across with the rigger, and I've used some medium in the paint, so I can scoop it up and get a lot of stuff on the brush. That's a plane.
Oh.
So you can hear the engine going.
Wonder where they're going. I was a silly maybe.
Right, we decided to call it a day at this point here because you can probably see behind me the tide is coming in quite quickly now. It's changed, it's turned and it's coming in. Got to get round there or the tide comes up to a certain point, otherwise we're going to have to climb across the rocks, which is not a pleasant thought for all my gear. So I will say ta-ra at this point and we'll continue this in the studio. So yeah, see you in a minute. Thanks for filming, lads. Oh, look at this coming in quick. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to have to move this lot. We might have to go that way. Let's just get this out of harm's way a minute.
Bye!
Back that way. Nice shot. I'm just going to turn that round actually. Right, so here we are back in the studio. The painting is still pretty wet from this morning's efforts on the beach. I'm just going to add a few bits to it now, starting in the sky. Same colours as I used outside and same medium, so nothing any different. to enhance it now, to finish it off basically, because we had to rush off. Obviously the way I'm going to be working is around the camera now, so we've got you can see what I'm doing easier. Obviously it's a little bit harder for me to work like this. This is how I'll probably be streaming. So if you're going to watch any of the live streams I'm going to be doing soon, this is the view you'll get. So we're just going to add a bit of this grey across here. So it's a bit more of a violet actually, violet grey. I think we'll be brave and put some violet in there. That will mix with the wet paint underneath, which is what I want. The reflection in that water here needs to be a lot lighter and brighter. So I'm going to have quite wet paint there, so it's not really ideal. In an ideal world I would have waited a couple of days for that to dry, but I wanted to get this done. Right. So this is the area that's sort of some of it's wet, but it's very shallow, so most of the sands you can see through there. I'm using the manganese blue now with some of this colour here and a bit of magenta. And we're just wanting to hint at some of this water that's sort of running into these areas. It's not very accurate. It's obviously having to rely on a photo now rather than actually being there to finish this off. Let's run some of these lines across here. This is whether you get those areas where the sand makes these sort of ridges. So run that in there. I've got a raw umber with a bit of violet. I'm just going to run a little bit of that in here. Still using the rigger. So I want some dark areas in there. Just lighten this a fraction with a bit of the Naples yellow. Got some nice sort of seaweedy stuff in here. And switch back for the flat brush here. Some of this sand there is quite smooth actually. There's a nice little cut. So we're just trying to make this a little bit more interesting in the foreground. These greys need to sort of run like that, and then it goes soft. Something like that. Get some more of these on, these darks in the foreground here, where there's the seaweed and things, stuff like that.
There's a few lighter marks. It's got a few marks, different colours and shades in here. I don't need to obviously follow everything that's there. I'm just going to put some cool green somewhere in here, like algae. A little bit bluer in that rock, I think, as well. Maybe just go slightly bluer. A couple of places in here. We use a ultramarine blue and Indian red. A nice dark in there. Same up here. I'm going to put that in nice and dark there. Give ourselves a good edge on that rock. And we're up there, there's the mussels. So what we're going to do here, some neat ultramarine blue in here. And see what that looks like. I'll leave that like that. Actually, I quite like it because it's where the mussels were, and they're quite like they are fairly blue, aren't they? That's a bit more work done on that one in the studio. It's okay. I could have done with ideally leaving it to dry for a few days and then working on it again, but I wanted to get this one wrapped up, ready to get into a video for you to have a look at, and obviously work on it while it's still fresh in my mind from today, earlier on today, when we got caught out by the tide. So, well, I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, as always. Don't forget, look out for the live streams, which will be coming soon on YouTube. Anyway, thanks for watching. All the best. See you next time. Bye for now.
Right, so I came back this morning.
Doing this yesterday. Obviously, it's the day after. And I decided to, perhaps could have done with a couple of people in there, a couple of figures walking around. So I've worked on these two here with the dog. And then put another figure in over there, just to sort of balance it up a little bit, because there were people milling around yesterday on the beach. Some people going swimming, dog walking, etc. So yeah, I thought that's something I had in mind when I was there on the beach yesterday. But obviously, the foremost concern was the tide. Yeah, so I didn't really get a chance to put them in. And then, of course, I thought about it last night and thought I'll come in this morning, just put a couple of people in there, just to finish it off and give it a little sort of sense of what it was really like. So that's it. See you next time. Bye for now.